cousin, cousins, Darren, McDonald. Cousin to cousin will always be special friends from the same family tree. Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and anyone who grew up with a cousin in their life, this old proverb perfectly describes the relationship most of us have with our first best friends. Whether you had none, a few, or a few dozen cousins, I have a secret for you. You have many more cousins than you think. My parents came from large families, so I was blessed with dozens of aunts, uncles, and cousins. At any time, we ranged from young adults to toddlers, but age didn't really matter. At family reunions, we knew who we'd be sitting next to at lunch and who'd be playing hide and seek afterward. At Christmas time, we knew who was going to get $5 from Grandma, and whoever got an actual toy was some of her favorites. We had some minor little disputes. Okay, there were full-fledged wrestling, hair-pulling, knockdown, drag-out fights. Eventually, a parent would come in, intervene, smooth things over, and have us apologize with the admonishment. He's your cousin. He's family. I was especially fond of my cousin Donna. She was a few years older than me, old enough to babysit, but close enough that we shared the same interests. We had sleepovers, we played games, and yes, occasionally we fought. One time she made me so mad, I swore I was going to hate her forever. That lasted up until we sat next to each other at dinner. How can you stay mad at someone you love and who adds so much to your life? I began to wonder if I had more cousins than I thought. I'd met a great aunt once and a second cousin, but I'd never heard of any further relatives. The only surefire way to find all your obscure relatives, win the lottery. Let's do some genealogical calculations. Start with yourself. It took 2 parents to make you. It took 4 grandparents to make them. It took 8 great-grandparents to make your grandparents. Every generation, that number keeps doubling. Go back 6 generations, 64 people. Go back 10 generations, 1,024 people. Go way back 36 generations, or somewhere around 1100 AD. It took 68 billion people to make you. Hang on, you might have just noticed a flaw in this thing. Today, there are just over 7 billion people on this earth. In 1100 AD, there were only 320 million. What happened to all those numbers that combined to make you? According to Richard Cardiff, this phenomenon is known as pedigree collapse. I know it sounds like an accident in dog breeding. Long before airplanes, cars, or even common use of wagons, people walked the earth. Most people lived and died 5 miles from where they were born. They married their second and third cousin. This is how we have so many common ancestors, and how it took less than 320 million people to make you, Pam. Pedigree collapse is the key to that secret I want to share with you. According to Richard Cardiff, no matter your origins, your race, or your nationality, we are no further than 15th cousin away from each other. Think about that. One generation, few generations of shared great-great-great-great-granddad or grandfather separate you from your neighbor, you from your coworker, you from your Toastmaster club members. I met my friend Frank in 1989. We both loved Renaissance fairs, crass humor, and dark beer. For decades, we would gather at the fair, get into our cups, and tell puns so bad people would groan. We lost Frank in January this year. We had an intimate little graveside to bid him farewell. That wasn't good enough for our people. His circle of friends, we gathered in early April at the Renaissance Fair, and we hosted a pub crawl. And we abused everyone within earshot with bad puns and limericks. Frank would have approved. I never researched our backgrounds, but I'm confident that Frank and I were related. We were just too much alike not to be. This concept that we're all related needs to be shouted from the rooftops and spread like wildfire. It's changed my way of thinking. Maybe it could change others and be nicer. Hello, cousin. How are you doing tonight? Did you enjoy your dinner, cousin? I hope you and your family are well, cousin. Even people that anger us every day. That person that has more than 15 items at the express checkout. That's okay, cousin. Maybe you can't count. That person that cuts you off in traffic. Go ahead, cousin. You're in more rush than I am. That person that takes the last cup of coffee and doesn't start another pot. Cousin, you do this again, I am telling your mother. Imagine if accepting this fact and simple communication could reach our world leaders. It's okay that you're different, cousin. Worship how you want. I don't agree with your law changes, cousin, but I'm willing to talk about it. You're right, cousin. It's just a piece of land. We should stop killing each other and talk peace. Oh my. Wouldn't that be a wonderful world? Talk about changing our world policy. A world of acceptance. A world of love. A world where all of humanity is an extended family. You can help me start this movement right now. If you had none, a few, or a dozen cousins, you have many more. If you get mad at someone, forgive them because they are valued in your life. Spend time with those that share your interest and cherish every moment. Treat strangers like family because they truly are. Look around. You're surrounded by your cousins. Mr. Contest.